Good evening, I'm Prasad and this is KiniNews. How hard is it to understand simple instructions to break the chain of infection? Apparently it's rocket science for some, including millionaires and people in positions of power. Sebenarnya apa masalah korang? Tak faham bahasa ke? Atau rasa SOP ni untuk orang biasa saja? The latest is this guy. Selangor Executive Councillor Borhan Aman Shah has apologised after admitted to violating Hari Raya Aidilfitri standard operating procedures to curb the spread of COVID-19. When most Malaysians stayed at home and endured not being able to spend it with family and friends, Mr. Borhan, the Tanjung Sepat assemblyperson, was photographed having a gathering at his house on May 14th, the second day of Hari Raya. House visitations and open houses were not allowed under the SOP to stop COVID-19. Now, the Kuala Lumpur police have opened an investigation paper into the politician for having house guests during the festive period. In a statement today, Borhan apologised and said he will cooperate with the investigation. Borhan, who holds the Rural Development, Traditional Villages, Malay Customs, Culture and Heritage portfolio in the state administration, promised that no such thing will happen again and that he sought forgiveness from all for his wrongdoing. Utusan Malaysia quoted Selangor Police Chief Junaidi Muhammad as saying that Borhan, along with all those who were photographed at his house, will be summoned for questioning. He will be investigated under Rule 17 of the Amended Prevention and Control of Infectious Diseases Act. Individuals can be compounded up to 10,000 ringgit for violating SOPs. Today will mark the third day the nation has recorded more than 6,000 cases daily. And by the looks of it, it's only going to get higher.
The Health Ministry reported 6,493 new COVID-19 cases today, with an upward trend being seen throughout the country. Labuan reported 84 cases, which was 15 times more than the average seen over the past 14 days. Meanwhile, Negeri Sembilan and Perak today reported double of what would be average seen over the past 2 weeks. Selangor continues to report more than 2,000 cases today, followed by Kuala Lumpur with 641 cases and Sarawak with 612. In Malaysia, case numbers are nearing 500,000 and globally, the virus have affected almost 165 million people and killed over 3.4 million. Malaysia's record-breaking daily new cases over the last 3 days have triggered fears that new infections may spike to 10,000 a day.
One of PN's fiercest critics, Najib Abdul Razak, isn't impressed with how the pandemic is being managed and he's not holding back. But before we look into that story, if you'd like to see more content like this, click the link in the description and become a contributor. Former Prime Minister Najib Abdul Razak continues to put pressure on the Perikatan National Government over its handling of the COVID-19 outbreak in the country. Commenting on the record number of daily infections, Najib said the country is set to hit the forecasted peak of 9,000 cases. He questioned whether the government will raise the forecasted peak for the third time, and if so, when will it end? Writing on Facebook, Najib also hoped that the Health Director General, Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah, will be able to deliver the facts during the National Security Council meeting this afternoon. He said this will be vital as the government may realise the situation the country is facing because it appears they are still asleep. Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin is scheduled to chair the National Security Council meeting in Putrajaya today and is expected to decide on whether a total lockdown will be implemented to curb the spread of COVID-19. In a separate post on Facebook, Najib also criticised the PN government's work ethic. He said with the meeting only set to take place at 3 p.m, the decision may only be announced tomorrow. In contrast, he said when he was Prime Minister, he used to start work at 7:30 a.m. daily and even earlier when the nation faced a crisis. Before Raya, most people were lobbying for interstate travel to be allowed, and now that the cases are at an all-time high, a think tank has found that people have drastically changed their tone. Who would have guessed?
MCA-linked think tank Institute of Strategic Analysis and Policy Research INSAP has claimed the proposal for a full lockdown has the support of 90% of the people they surveyed. In a statement today, INSAP Deputy Chairperson Jacob Lee Yi Yuan said the survey was conducted over Twitter involving 3,489 respondents. Lee said the findings significantly reflect the swift emotional change among Malaysians post-Hari Raya Aidilfitri celebrations, indicating dismay over Malaysians defying the government's interstate travel ban to travel during the public holidays. The MCA Youth's spokesperson also claimed that public sentiment had shifted towards favouring stricter movement restrictions because public hospitals are on the brink. Lee said this tipped the scales in public discourse on whether the government must save Malaysians' lives or keep the economic open and running to save jobs. Lee opined that as a full lockdown would hurt businesses, it must be complemented with automatic bank loan moratorium and financial assistance, such as another round of ICNR or I-Lestari withdrawals from the Employees' Provident Fund. He also mooted that the government should allow individuals to purchase vaccines due to the slow rollout of the national vaccination program.
Shellfish, red meat, and beer. If you love indulging in these foods, you may end up with high uric acid level in your blood. These foods consist high level of purine, a substance that will eventually break down into uric acid and be excreted through our urine. It is recommended that the amount of dietary purines should be kept between 600 to 1000 milligrams per day. Having too much uric acid in your blood can cause attacks of gout. It can also cause kidney stones and blockage in the kidney. The crystallization of the excessive uric acid in your blood can be eased by reducing purine-rich food to only 100 to 150 milligrams daily, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, and consuming urinary alkalinizer like Ural. It consists of sodium bicarbonate, citric acid, and sodium citrate that increases the urinary pH and solubility of uric acid to prevent crystallization. Best of all, it's lemon-flavored and sugar-free. Ural, effective urinary alkalinizer. Neutralize your uric acid problem now.
A video calling for justice for A. Ganapathy, that's all Syed Saddiq had to do to be under the radar of PDRM.
Former Youth and Sports Minister Syed Saddiq Syed Abdul Rahman revealed today that he will be investigated by the police for a video where he demanded justice for the late A. Ganapathy, who died while being treated at the hospital after being arrested in February.
I will give full cooperation to the Malaysian police. They are not my enemies, they are my friends, they are my colleagues. Those who disrespect the rule of law are the ones who I stand firmly against.
In a tweet, the Muar MP cautioned the need for police to launch a probe against him, but promises that he will give full cooperation. It was reported that Ganapathy was arrested on February 24th to facilitate investigation into a sibling who was wanted by the police. On March 11, the mother of the deceased S. Tanalachmi 60 launched a report at the Gombak District Police Headquarters regarding the allegation that her son was beaten while in custody. She claimed to have been contacted by a policeman on March 8 who informed her that her son had been released and treated at the intensive care unit of Selayang Hospital. Ganapathy died at the hospital on April 18.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to malaysiakini.com. I'm Prasad Michael. Thank you for watching.